Hello everyone, here's the Scrawlrbox again for the month of February. It arrived a little late, but that's okay. It feels pretty heavy and I can't wait to see what's in there. As usual, I'm having a hard time opening it. Oof, alrighty. Let's see what goodies we have this month. Okay, already we have the challenge, that's Quiet Morning. Oop, let's not look. The sticker, I see an eraser, Mars plastic, a Staedtler eraser. A watermelon fizzy bubble gum. Faber-Castell water brush. I didn't know they made water brushes. Nice. It's really small, but that's great when you go out on the field to have a small one. It has the same shape as the door one. Not the door. I forgot the name. I think it's the door. No. Oh, I forgot the name. That's okay. How do you fill it? Oh, that's an easy fill. Alright. Very nice. And then we have Faber-Castell 12 Goldfaber Aqua. So it's a whole set of watercolor pencils. My goodness. Wow. Creative Studio quality. Let's see. It says excellent light fastness, soft vibrant color laydown, highly pigmented, and fully water soluble lead. High break resistant due to secure bonding process. Easy to sharpen with all normal pencil sharpeners, but not to dip in water. Avoid dipping watercolor pencils in water. Okay. Let's see. Nice, they're pre-sharpened. There's a white also. Though I'm not sure, never figured out how to use a white watercolor pencil really. Usually with watercolor you use the white of the paper, and these aren't usually white enough to add white details, so gouache or white acrylic works better. But we'll see, maybe this one is good. It's a nice variety, there's even a black. And then there's the colors, well, information booklet here. Is there anything else? And we have a Staedtler Mars Lumograph pencil. Oh, Aquarell. So this is a water-soluble graphite pencil. 4B. Nice. Staedtler sharpener. And we have a beautiful watercolor print by Scrawlrchallenge. Sorry if I butchered your name. It's a beautiful painting. And watercolor paper. Just one piece this time. That's funny. Usually they send a couple pieces. That's okay. It's very thin, so it's probably can be more than 90 pounds. So anyway, that's all we have, which is great. I like receiving a full set. We'll see what I can do with this. So let's see how these work. The 4B is nice and dark, It's to be expected. And since it has a little brush here, I'm gonna check to see if it is water soluble. It should be. Whoa! Goodness. You barely have to push on the brush here for the water to come out. I need to get the glue off the bristles. They're still pretty stiff. Alright, so let's see. Here we go. Oof. I think I'm gonna have to get used to this. Usually water brushes, you have to squeeze really hard for water to come out. This, you barely touch it. Alright, let's try again. Here we go. Now, I'm thinking if I do my sketch with this, and then I use the watercolor pencils, and I put water on them, then my outline is gonna smudge most likely. So I'm gonna have to be careful, and I'm gonna test to see how, when this dry, when this is dry, if it still is water soluble. Alright, let's try the eraser. Works like an eraser. Also for the lid of the brush here, it has this little pointy shape, and it's so that you can do some scraping. Works pretty well. Alright, let's try the pencils. Does not break. There's a little piece of I don't know where it went, but I saw it in here earlier. Here. They're very pigmented. It's a really bright yellow. It's very nice. So the pigment really dissolves well. You see there's no trace of the stroke of the pencil, and it's very bright. As far as the brush is concerned, if you slightly squeeze it, then you have the right amount of water coming out. So that there's practice here. But look at that, it's so nice and buttery. It's very nice. So from what I understand from this here, I think these are crafters and student pencils, even though the pigments are beautiful and the light fastness is very good, according to what they say. So I wonder if they do have an artist version of them. I'm going to have to research that and let you know. Now let's see if this dissolves more. So when I applied water to this graphite pencil, it melted and dissolved like that, but once it's dry, it doesn't dissolve as much. So I could try to do some kind of grisaille for my drawing, do all the shading with this and a water brush, and then then glaze these colors on it. That could be something interesting to do. Something that I really like doing with water-soluble colored pencils is grab the pigment from the tip, because I think I can control the watercolor effect better that way. The tip, it's not recommended to just dip your colored pencils in water, because then you're gonna get the wood all wet and the glue might come off, and then the lead's gonna come off the pencil. But you might be able to just like dip the tip, just the tip, in water if you wanted to get it all wet and use very creamy lines. But I don't like that effect because it gets harder to dissolve, although these seem to dissolve really well, so that's very exciting. Anyway, stay tuned and I'll see what I can draw with all this. The challenge for this month is quiet morning. So as I was looking through reference pictures, I saw a lot of people snuggling with a cup of coffee, being all cozy, and I thought that would be a good idea. But then I saw this picture of cups and teapots, and as if it was very early in the morning and everybody was still in bed. So what is quieter than the morning when everybody's still in bed? So I thought I'd try this instead. After I had done my sketch, I realized that I had forgotten to see how well the pencils lifted, so I did a quick test, and I realized they really don't lift very well at all. So that's something to keep in mind, but it could be to your advantage, because if your layer of watercolor pencil doesn't lift, you can add a lot more layers on top and it won't move the previous layer, which is great actually. That said, as I was drawing and painting and using those watercolor pencils, I realized that they really aren't as good as I thought they were. It's something swatching them on a piece of paper and not really caring what your swatches look like. You tend to put a lot of pigments on the swatches and they come really nice. So while the pigments really dilute well, so that really, you can't go wrong with that. They work very well. You never see the stroke of the pencil on the paper. It dilutes entirely, which is great. I've seen some professional watercolor pencils and it's really hard. You have to have a very light touch on your paper when you first apply them for them to dissolve all the way. So that's a really good point for those. However, the pigment isn't as strong as I thought. I really had to apply layers upon layers to get a more saturated look. I guess if you like light touches, that's fine, it works great, but I like my colors to pop and to be nice and bright. And the picture that I had chosen shows a really red teapot and bright yellow cups, and I had a hard time making them really vibrant. I had to use many layers and several techniques, from applying the pencil really hard on the paper so that I would have more pigment, to getting the pigment straight from the tip. But even that didn't really do it for me. So I think there's a reason why there are student watercolor pencils. They are really good, but definitely not as good as professional ones, and I haven't tried them yet, but I'm pretty sure the Durer watercolor pencils, which is the professional line, would be much better. I'm running out of time. Anyway, real quick, the Staedtler graphite pencil was a lot of fun to use. I really liked it. I finally get the hang of the Faber-Castell water brush. Just use a very light touch when you squeeze the water out, but it's a very good brush. Thanks everyone for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.